Hello, everyone, and welcome to the second episode of our show, Film Duels. Since we had such a positive response on the first episode, as of now, I think it has about 75 views. We've decided to record a second episode almost right away, and we're going to probably be recording an episode and uploading it every week. And I'm not going to be hosting today's episode, but I'm probably going to be doing fact checking because listening to last week's episode and hearing a lot of stuff that was wrong during the editing process. So I think we need a fact checker. So I'll throw it over to today's host, Tristan, aka Movie Reviews 100, to introduce our competitors for today.
Hey guys, our first competitor is Brett from Art Pig Reviews.
Yo.
Our second competitor is Danny from Danny the Movie Man.
According to all known laws of aviation, they're gonna no, this is not gonna work.
The B movie. Oh no.
Miles, static art, Miles.
And
That meme is old and
Name
unfunny.
And our third contestant is Edwin from the Crazy Movie Lover, 1985.
Greetings and salutations.
All right, so
I need a B-movie criterion.
yeah, that would be amazing.
Yeah.
All right, guys. So let's start.
Let's get
For the
on
first
into
question,
the news.
Our first question is, in honor of the new Cars 3 teaser, what animated film should have a dark sequel? All right, Brett, let's start with you.
All right.
Oh wait, hold on. Should I time it?
No,
Okay.
just no. It's fine.
Oh no.
Just make sure he doesn't go too long.
Okay. All right, Brett, you can start now.
So, we're all talking about how the Cars movies weren't necessarily Pixar's best in the slightest, but, they weren't terrible. So I think we should, make a dark sequel to a really terrible franchise where we just hate everyone in them. So I decided to go with the Ice Age movies, because we've gone to the point where every Ice Age movie gets worse and worse, and all the characters are just despicable and unlikable. So it'd just be really great if we got a movie where they just all got slashed and murdered somehow. Each one of them gets murdered in some brutally weird way. And we watch it unfold for an hour and a half because they've taken out about 3 to 4 hours of our lives having to go see them. And so I think that it would be a really great conclusion and make it all worth it. It would be a nice catharsis if we get an Ice Age murder movie. An Ice Age serial killer movie.
I'll pay to go see that.
Yeah, that sounds pretty awesome.
Yeah,
That
Don't
sounds-
say
that
that when you're
sounds
about to argue against it, though.
All right, so
Oh,
all
sorry.
right,
No, it's fine. It's just saying that might be weird.
all right, Edwin, your turn.
What I think should be turned to a dark sequel for an animated film is The Little Mermaid. I mean, as I've seen the first one since I was like 5 years old. Since I rewatched it again when I'm in my teens, I noticed all the things that are in that movie, and I'm wanting them to make a very darker one, a very dark sequel to The Little Mermaid, because I don't know, since they're all in the ocean, all the creatures kill each other for food, and I mean it's I want to see a dark version of The Little Mermaid. I want to see that. Just that's that scene where they ram the boat into the freaking queen octopus lady and then just kill it. I mean, I want to see something more dark in the death. See what they come up with. So, that's all I gotta say for that. I mean,
All right, good argument. Danny, your turn.
Alright, so the reason why I've chose my choice is because it's from IP that has worked dark in the past. I've chose the Peanuts movie. I have one main piece of evidence for this that I'd like to share, and it's my favorite Peanuts short of all time is Why Charlie Brown Why. This is a story of one of Charlie Brown's closest friends getting cancer. It's very dark, it's very depressing, but it's fantastic, and I believe it's the best thing to come out of Peanuts when it comes to shorts. And I think since the IP has worked like maybe even better, darker than lighter, I think this really should be explored in the in the same way that the CG Peanuts movie was, because it works that way and it works really well, and it still has the same heart, just not in the same way, but maybe a better way.
All right, good argument. So Brett, you have about 2 minutes to rebuttal.
Alright. So both of you guys' movies have something in common, right? They're both solid movies. They're both good movies originally. Ice Age movies aren't good. Like, the first one was and the rest of them weren't. So we need something to actually, like, breathe new life into this franchise. And, like, the thing is that a lot of families and a lot of people go together to watch a Peanuts movie. So if it got dark, you know, maybe that'd just be a really sad, depressing time at the theater. Or, like, The Little Mermaid, like, it hasn't really, like, they've been making Frozen and Moana and stuff. Like, The Little Mermaid's like a distant past. It's not even as good as those movies if you think about it now. And, like,
Right.
a dark sequel wouldn't even really, like, benefit much to it. It's still a good movie. It's just not as groundbreaking as those movies. And those movies have gotten to deeper places than they have. But with Ice Age, if you went dark with that, because they're, of course, going to make another one because they want more money. They can do whatever they want to now. And kids aren't going to care, so they just might as well kill these things off, and maybe they get some morbid enjoyment out of that. And the parents wouldn't hate themselves, so they get this cathartic release through the fact that all of these animals that they've been having to suffer and watch for hours on end are finally meeting their demise. Like, can you just, like, imagine, like, Sid, like, this choking on, like, a toothpaste tube? Like, 10 out of 10.
All right then.
All right, Edwin, your turn. Edwin, your
what?
turn to rebuttal.
I mean, I saw the Ice Age movies. I think they all sucked. This recent one that's just been made, I thought it was a piece of crap. I didn't enjoy it. I didn't like it.
Great.
But if they do want to make a darker version of it, I'm all good with that, because I think it needs a darker tone for it. Because I saw the first one when I was little, and I enjoyed it until they made a sequel. I got a little excited about it until they made a third one. I say, what the hell are they doing? This sucks. This really sucks. I mean, I want to see a darker version of that. I want that to happen, but I don't think, because it's meant for family movies and people go see it with their kids and all. But I mean, for me, make it to a darker movie. I want to see this. I want all of them to get killed off, because they know their time is gonna come up and they're gonna be all extinct. I mean that's all I have to say about that.
Right?
Wait, are you siding with? Wait, are you siding with Brett now?
Yes, I am.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
I'm kind of agreeing with him, because I hate them. I hate all the movies. I want to see a
You
darker
hate them
movie.
so much that you're sacrificing your own potential win for it?
Yes, I am. I
Alright,
don't own an Ice Age
That's
movie.
ballsy.
Well, yeah, this is the first time in film dudes history that happens.
All 2 episodes.
And
Yeah,
yeah,
all
that is the first time in Film Duels history that's happened, and we've been trying to record Film Duels since December 24th, 2015. So that's a pretty big thing.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have anything to say against Danny's pick, or do you want to just?
I'm all good with my choice, man.
I think he concedes.
Okay.
All right, Danny, your turn.
Okay, so when it comes to The Little Mermaid, I don't think we need a dark sequel, because to be honest, The Little Mermaid is dark in the first place. Ursula is this, like, a menacing villain. Like, even my younger sister, who's 5, she gets scared by some parts of The Little Mermaid. It's dark on its own. I think it's just gonna... It's a dark tone of sorts, and I don't really think having a darker one would be necessary. Like, they already showed, like, the darker side of, like, these princess stories. But when it comes to Ice Age, I don't really think that making it dark would improve the franchise, because, like, Brett is saying that, like, having it dark would be like a nice turn for the franchise. It would change things around. But they've tried turns. They've put like dinosaurs in one. They've put space in one. None of these work. And to like the only reason why the one audience that enjoys these movies is the kids. If you make it dark and something that they won't enjoy, nobody will enjoy it, and I think it will just tear the only thing that the franchise has going for it apart.
All right. Okay. Well, yeah, that was definitely an interesting round. Forrest, do you have anything to fact check?
Well, okay, so on IMDb, the Cars movies are the lowest rated Pixar movies. The Little Mermaid, as you were saying, it was scary. It has a 5 and up on Common Sense Media. The consensus is superb, entertaining animated musical, has some scary stuff. The most critically acclaimed out of the movies that you've said is Little Mermaid with 92% certified fresh. Peanuts movie with 87% certified fresh, and the original Ice Age has 77% certified fresh. So they're all certified fresh.
All right, cool.
Yeah, but other than that, not much. Oh, and there is a Little Mermaid reboot starring Chloe Grace Moretz coming out in 2017.
Really?
Wait, what?
It's
Yeah.
not
Wait,
a
what?
Disney one, though. It's a
Yes.
Lionsgate one.
Yeah.
That's still awesome, though. That's still awesome.
No,
Anything with because Chloe Grace Moretz said
Wait,
that she was
wait.
actually
Maybe it doesn't have
Wait.
Chloe Grace Moretz.
quitting.
Maybe.
Isn't that the girl that was in the Carrie movie?
Yeah,
Wait, never.
Not her.
Sorry, it doesn't have Chloe Grace Moretz. That
she's
was just.
awesome though.
Sorry, that was
Have you seen
something.
like
No,
Kick-Ass
that
or anything like that?
I was
Or
wrong.
Hugo.
Kick-Ass, but she's not perfect for Little Mermaid. She like bland, man.
I think Elle Fanning would probably do a better job for that, but
I was wrong. Chloe Grace Moretz isn't in it. That was a
dang. Yeah, 'cause
fan
she
made thing I
quit.
saw, but that was a fan made
Did?
thing I
Oh,
saw.
Good for her.
Yeah, she
Might
quit for the
speed up
next
with
3
the
years
Carrie.
or something like that. All right, so
Excuse me.
yeah, that was an interesting round. I think that, well, first of all, Edwin, you kind of knocked yourself out there by siding with Brett. But that definitely made the round even more interesting. So I applaud you for that. That was a gutsy move.
I hate those movies, man. I hate them.
Yeah, Art Pig. Yeah, your choice was so strong that you got someone to side with you. So on that fact alone, that's pretty amazing. But I think Danny brought up like some of those facts, like how the Peanuts movie had a darker animated short and how it was the best at the Peanuts, like the best Peanuts short. And he also, I think he had better arguments against yours. So I'm gonna give this point to Danny.
Hey.
Yeah, I
But, yeah,
agree.
That's a close one. That was definitely a close one.
Oh,
And
and
so-
that was
I have a question real quick.
Yeah.
Thought we did like after like we rebuttal, we had one more rebuttal. Or is that not the case? Do we just
No.
That's speed round.
that's speed
yeah,
round.
that's speed round.
The short Why Charlie Brown Why came out in 1990, and it has a 7.9 out of 10 on IMDb.
That's a
Oh,
lot.
Is that
cool.
No, I'm just kidding.
I genuinely think it's the best Peanuts TV special, and so does my whole family. It's great.
Yeah.
I
I've
need
never
to see
seen-
that.
Peanuts fan, so I should watch it. I'll
Yeah.
probably cry 18 times in a row.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've like no, I've like me and my sister have watched it like 6 times simultaneously in a row, and like we've cried each time. No, I haven't ever cried watching anything, but like that was probably the closest I ever have.
Dang.
Wait, does she like die?
Don't spoil
Wait, no,
it.
don't
Don't
spoil
spoil
it's
it.
it's
spoil it.
it's Peanuts. It's like what do you expect?
Oh, there's an Arthur episode by that, like about someone with cancer. It's pretty sad. Yeah, I cried when I was younger.
Did it lead to death or?
No.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't think they'll do that in kids shows.
All right, so on to the next question. So the next question is, since Moana came out Wednesday, what is the best animated CGI Disney film? And this time we're going to start with you, Edwin.
All right. Best CGI movie from Disney. I have to give it to Zootopia. I mean, it's a movie that makes some reference to other classic movies and a TV show, which featured The Godfather and Breaking Bad. I think they referenced 48 Hours, but I'm not too sure on that. But from overall, it's a good movie. It's a movie about like a society about racism and drugs, which is a pretty big thing for a Disney movie. I mean, I had to rewatch it a couple times to get the feel for it, and I really enjoyed it. I gave it 8 out of 10, and it has a catchy song to it. It's a pretty decent movie with good characters and a great mystery thriller movie, which I'm kind of guessing that is the case of it. And it's just a great movie. I liked it. I'm not a big Disney fan, but I'm gonna give them 1 8 out of 10 for being a good Disney movie that makes reference to classic movies and a TV show.
Nice. All right, good argument.
Thank you.
Danny, your turn.
All right. So my choice is Wreck-It Ralph. I just feel like when it comes to like the CG Disney animated movies, this is the one that had the most heart. I resonated with all the characters. I liked every single one, even though they make out like Wreck-It Ralph to be like somebody who's done bad. He's a really likable character, one of the most likable I've seen, and it's just one of the biggest parts of why this is so good is the world building. The scope of this movie is huge, with like all the video game references and like all the different games in the arcade. I think just the large scope and just like really captures the Disney magic really well, and I think more so than any of the recent Disney CG movies. It's just so much fun, has so much heart. It's probably like the most I've rewatched a Disney animated movie. It's just so much fun, and it's just there's so much things you can take out of it, from all little Easter eggs to it's just really fantastic movie.
All right, good choice. Brett, last but not least, your turn.
Alright, so my choice is a lot better than both of those movies you guys just listed, even though those movies are great. Because not only do I think this movie is fantastic, I think it is underrated. I honestly think it is a masterpiece, and it's one of the best animated films ever made, and that is Tangle. And I think Tangle gets washed under the rug way too often for absolutely no reason, because I think it is not only the best Disney princess film, there's a lot. It is by far the most emotional of any of the Disney films that have come out this past decade. There is not a scene in any of them that resonates more or has more artistry in it than the lantern sequence, because I was able to have a visual storytelling medium that was able to say and convey a lot. Even the emotions through the parents' eyes have given out more grace and more of an emotional impact, and I think the two movies you guys listed are. I mean, I love those two movies. They're great too. But the thing is that they just don't quite have the pure emotion, the pure raw power that I think Tangle does. And I think Tangle gets washed over the rug for some reason, because it just didn't quite hit like Frozen. Because I feel like Frozen was just a little too obvious, and I think what made Tangle great is how subtle it was, and how it's just this fun, charming coming-of-age movie that had a lot more to it than you thought. And it had stakes, it had emotion, it had adventure. I think it's one of the best Disney movies, and I think it is one of the most underrated movies out there. I think it's absolutely amazing, and it's totally like it wins. It's the winner of this argument. It's so much better than both those movies.
All right, great choice. Edwin, your turn to rebuttal.
I don't think Tango is the best Disney movie ever. I didn't enjoy the movie. I didn't like it. I'd rather stick with my choice, Zootopia, because it's so much better than that. I mean, there's emotional characters involved here. The thing I got from it is that it is so much better than Tango. I mean, I watched Tango. I hated it. I had to watch it with my nephew because I was forced to. I just want to shoot myself in the head for watching that piece of garbage. I mean, it's not a good movie. It's all right in some ways. It doesn't touch me, man. I don't feel it. I just don't feel that movie. I have to give it a thumbs down for that, man. Thumbs down.
And do you have anything to say against Danny's choice, Wreck-It Ralph?
No, I liked Wreck-It Ralph. I thought it was a great movie. I thought it was great.
But do you have anything to say? Like Zootopia?
I mean, I'm sorry. I haven't seen Wreck-It Ralph in a while, so Wreck-It Ralph is a good movie. It's like Toy Story, but it's in the game world. All these characters do their like own thing, like other humans do, and it does have some feels for it that Ralph is like not like welcome in other people's homes because he's like the bad guy and doesn't want to be the bad guy anymore, but he has to because it's important to the game. I mean, it's a very very good movie. I like all the characters. It's a well made Disney movie that's like whole thing for a family movie, you know.
All right. I guess Brett, it's your turn to Oh, sorry, no,
Hey.
Danny's turn to rebuttal. Sorry
All
about
right.
that.
No worries. So when it comes to Zootopia, it's like. Actually, you know what? I want to talk about Tangled first because I have a stronger opinion that when you say that you think it's very underrated, I think that's an issue in itself because it seems like it's a very, very subjective choice. Like, I personally don't enjoy Tangled, and most people I know don't enjoy Tangled. Therefore, I don't think it's the best if only a very small audience can enjoy it. Like, I thought it was very cliche. It was nothing new. And, like, when I say that, like, Wreck-It Ralph, it has, like, the basic story structure of a Disney movie, but it's not, like, Tangled where it completely follows it. It treads its own path. It, like, makes its own worlds. It has its, like, own unique twists on the characters. And when it comes to Zootopia, it's good. Like, the social commentary is good, but, like, really, like, I don't think a movie can be judged accurately just based on its film references and it's a social commentary. I think it's, like, the production of the overall movie itself, and I think Wreck-It Ralph is a very high-quality film. It's really well made. It has a lot of heart, and I think it just has more qualities that are more important than Zootopia does. And I guess you agree with that choice anyway, so I don't really have to say anything to defend.
Ruby.
All right. Great argument. Brett, your turn to rebuttal.
Ooh, okay, here we go. First off, you're all incorrect. Tingled's a great movie. But I'll say that
subjective.
First off, if you want to look at it as the percent of people who like it theoretically has a 90% on Rotten Tomatoes right now.
What does?
Majority of people actually do really like it, and I've heard most of the people I've talked to say that they really like it too. But it doesn't really get discussed as much because of these other films that like came out and have been popular, you know, like Moana and Frozen. So I do very much think it's underrated, but a lot of people actually end up liking it. I feel like it almost paved the way into that type of way. It was like the first CGI Disney movie to really start this renaissance. And I think you said that it follows a basic structure and story, but so does every single Disney princess film to the dawn of time. And practically any film you will ever see will follow the same exact path. It's just what they do with that path. And Tangled does a lot of stuff with that path. There's so many great individual moments where it doesn't have to always be constantly fighting or moving or like shouting something at you. It's able to be quiet. It's able to suck in the moment. It's able to suck in the environment. And you see something like Wreck-It Ralph, and while Wreck-It Ralph is great, there's very few moments to soak in the moment. It's boom, 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 boom all the time. Big Hero 6, boom, boom, boom. Zootopia, boom, boom, boom. Tangled would be boom, then we take a moment. Boom, then we take a moment. And that's really nice because it gives it this more mature and more authentic feeling than some of these other Disney films have been. I think it's by far the most mature of all the films that we have been talking about here because it's able to take its time. It's able to show like its true colors and its true emotion, its true wit, and I think that it just gets under the rug because of the whole Frozen. Oh, it's so popular, everyone loves Frozen type of thing, and then people are like, oh, it's just another Disney princess film, but it's so much more than just a Disney princess film. And I think over time people realize it is one of the better Disney movies, and it's definitely in my short top 5 favorite Disney movies of all time. I think it's absolutely incredible. And again, the lantern sequence, there is not a scene that is more visually poetic, and that is more thought-provoking than the lantern scene in any other Disney film that has come out in 2020. That scene alone should make this a win.
All right. Okay, I think I have my winner here, but just before I announce it, Forrest, do you have any fact checks to talk about? Or
Yeah, this time I actually do have a fact check, not just information. Brett, you said Tangled has a 90% on Rotten Tomatoes. It actually has an 89%.
Boo! Come on!
And the highest rated out of the three is far and away Zootopia. It has a 98.
Yeah, all right.
And Wreck-It
Oh,
Ralph,
wow.
Wreck-It Ralph has an 86. So that's the lowest out of all of them.
Guess
Okay.
what? Take higher
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure the average ratings are whatever.
No,
Yeah.
Wreck-It Ralph has the same average rating as Tangled, and it's 0.6 lower than Zootopia's.
Oh, interesting.
all right. Okay, so Edwin, I think you did a great job at knocking down Tangled, but unfortunately, you kind of agreed with Wreck-It Ralph. So I think that just on that alone, I think that you're at you didn't win this time, but I think it's definitely between Danny and Artpig. Danny, you had a great argument, but I think Brett definitely won this one. He had a really compelling argument, and I think just on how he was talking about how Tangled is more emotional, and I don't even like Tangled, but I think that he did a great job at arguing for it. So yeah, I'm gonna give this point to Brett.
Yay! How do you guys don't like Tangled? That's insane. It's
I
not really.
hate Tangled.
I
I wasn't
hate it.
saying it for the
Point.
argument.
I hate it too. Well, I don't hate it. I just don't love it. I'd give it
I
like 3
find
out of
that
5.
point.
But
I give
that's
it
my
like
own
a
fault.
1.5. I really
Like
don't
I-
see what there is in that movie. I genuinely
I
don't.
think it's a great movie, but I personally find the songs really irritating because my neighbors sing it like every single day, over and over again. So yeah, it got really annoying for me. But I don't know. I need to check it out
7
again.
a.m. the usual morning roundup.
Oh God, no! I
Or
can't.
not the-
Oh God, hell no.
Okay.
Okay, I'm sorry.
All
My
right.
sister will be so proud when she watches this. She'll never watch this. Are you kidding? Alright.
Okay. Moving on to the next question. Hold on, I just need to get it up here. Okay, so in honor of Allied, what is Brad Pitt's best film? Oh, sorry, we're starting with Danny on this one.
Alright, so I chose one that I really think this movie won Best Picture, and I think this is the only time in like the past very many years that I've agreed with the Best Picture winner, and I truly thought that was the best movie of the year. That was 12 Years a Slave. 12 Years a Slave is
12 Years a Slave?
a really great... Yeah, he has a small part. 12 Years a Slave is an amazing movie about slavery, and it does justice to how horrible it was, but at the same time doesn't shove it down your throat like many others do. And as well, it's like it's brutal, but it's very subtle and very, very heartfelt, and you really resonate for all the characters, and you want them to do better, and you like. It's just a story. It's like for some, it might not be it might not seem accessible at the seams to many people, but it's really just a really accessible and really fantastic movie for anybody to watch because not considering its brutality or the subject matter or anything, it's incredibly well made. It had me compelled the whole runtime, and it's really powerful and one of the most powerful films I've ever seen.
Nice. Great argument. All right, Brett, your turn.
Alright, so I chose the film Tree of Life, directed by Terrence Malick, who, if you know anything about film, you know that Terrence Malick is a very influential director. And what's very refreshing about Tree of Life is that it brings back art house cinema in its truest form, where public media and Oscars and all those people really took it in full force and like really appreciate it for what it was. Because whenever it came out, it got a mixed reaction, but it was mostly positive, and the people who found it positive found it to be one of the like most awe-inspired, earth-shattering films of all time. And in a way, they're correct. It feels very much like in the vein of something Stanley Kubrick would do with 2001: A Space Odyssey. In that vein, as in, it is very non-linear. It's very strange. But if you examine it and you view it and you experience it rather than just watch it, it can actually just change someone's life and their perspective on the world and vision. And I don't think Brad Pitt has another movie like that. And I don't really think most actors in modern Hollywood would really take on something like that, because it is very risky and bold choice, and they probably won't make the money back. And it probably won't look the best on there. You know, it's not the role where he gets to take a shirt and show off his abs. You know, it's the role where he gets to be this reserved father and he gets to take care of his kids, and his role isn't overshadowing the movie, but he's there enough to where you feel his presence of his character and the world around him. So I think Tree of Life is by far his best movie, because I think it is definitely one of the most influential ones, and I think it is one of the finest films of the decade, and it's a true visual marvel.
All right, great argument. Edwin, your turn.
Best Brad Pitt movie. I think his best movie is California. It's one of his earlier movie roles that he's ever gone, because he had a small part of Thelma and Louise, and this movie California, it's like one of his scariest roles I've ever seen him play. I mean, if you just look in his freaking eyes, you can see how crazy and tormented he is. He basically goes on a cross country trip to California with these people, and he like does stuff on the way over there. And I mean, I had to pause the movie a couple of times, saying, "Oh my God, it's intense." And I had to continue to finish watching it. I mean, Brad Pitt was scary in this movie.
Edwin, are you still there?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm still here. Why?
He's talking. I think you might be having some lag, Tristan.
Oh, but
Oh,
like I
yeah,
was,
that might be me. Sorry.
oh, sorry. Like I was saying, California is one of Brad Pitt's best roles, his best movie, and his scarier roles I've ever seen. It's like reminding me of Jack Nicholson in The Shining and Robert De Niro's what's his name? Cape Fear. Max Cady. There we go. I'm comparing those two guys into this character that Brad Pitt plays. It's a very good movie. I gave it a thumbs up, and this is just a great movie to watch. I love it.
Great argument. All right, so Danny, your turn to rebuttal.
All right. I have a similar issue with both of these films, but I'll talk about it in the context of Tree of Life first. I believe Terrence Malick is also a very subjective filmmaker. It's really difficult to get into his films, and I think it's really only a great film if you're ready to think and you can like understand the what?
Oh, what's happening?
Oh, sorry,
Where's
that's I don't know. Sorry, the TV just turned on. But, sorry, my brother just turned on the TV, but I'll go into a different room. All right.
Okay.
Can I start my time again?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Okay. So, yeah, like I said, I don't think that Tree of Life is a film that you really need to think about, and you really need to have the correct mindset, and you need to be compelled about these issues of life and death. Otherwise, it's hard to get into. Like, really, the only thing here to appreciate is Terrence Malick's like insight in filmmaking, when like technical, his technical merits. When it comes to anything else, there's like not much for like me specifically to be compelled to. Like the visuals are cool and everything, but other than that, there's not much there. If you're like, if it's like the message isn't accessible. When it comes to California, I don't think it's his best film either, because it's like it's not like the movie that's gained the following out of his films. Like, this movie only made like $2 million at the box office or something. Very few people know about it. and that's I think why like movies like Fight Club and like all that and Seven and all these have like such a huge following and so many people saw them because they're actually like really good. And I think just like the very like that not a lot of people know about it is an issue, and like the subject matter is really weird, and it's a really difficult film. It's really like a genre thing. So you really have to be you have to appreciate a really certain type of film. Otherwise, there's not much there if you don't appreciate the style of film that it is. So yeah.
All right, good argument. I think, Brett, you're next.
Okay, Danny, what was your choice again?
It was the 12 Years a Slave.
Yeah, you didn't even like bring that up in your.
I did.
Your
it must have
defense.
lagged.
Oh well. Anyways, so first off, I'm gonna say that 12 Years a Slave can't be Brad Pitt's best movie if he was in it for like 2 to 3 minutes. I haven't seen it, but I don't think that really counts as a Brad Pitt movie. Like he produced it, he was a major producer on it. But I think a Brad Pitt movie, you're thinking about a movie that Brad Pitt had a pivotal part in.
No,
And something like Tree of Life, he was the main character in, and he was the main character of a completely new and bold vision from Terrence Malick. And you said that it's not it's not like there for like the public eye, right? Like it's not there. It's hard to digest. But that doesn't mean it's not his best work. There's so many films from films that were made by Bergman and films like some of these Criterion titles that are hard to digest and they're hard to watch. Maybe some of them. Maybe you won't connect to them like everyone else has, but they're still influential and they're still the best. I think what you're saying is that Tree of Life isn't your favorite, and it might not be everyone's favorite, but we're talking about the best. We're talking about his best movie, and we're talking about the one that had the most impact on cinema and the most impact on film, and the one that made the biggest splash in art, film and art and all of that. I think Tree of Life is absolutely the best of those movies. And California, kind of like what Danny was saying, is not very well known. But that doesn't necessarily mean it couldn't be his best, but I just don't think it has enough traction. Like, again, we hear about these things like Fight Club and Seven and Tree of Life, and they just seem to have more of an impact. Like, it doesn't, like California just seems like a very much, just kind of like one of these gritty, intense little movies, but it's not really saying anything more of impact or really making a statement or really having, like, some important stance. Unlike something like Tree of Life or something like as iconic as Fight Club or Seven or something like that. Like, you don't see them quoted, you don't see them really discussed or anything because it's just very your typical, like, well, maybe not typical, it might be very well done, but it's not necessarily as iconic Brad Pitt. It's not as iconic. It's not something that made his career. Or whenever you think about Brad Pitt, you don't think about California. You think about something like Tree of Life. So that's just me. So, yeah.
Great argument.
I think for the last rebuttal, Edwin, your turn. Can I just say something quick, actually, first? Sorry.
All right.
It's develop on my argument, but I just wanted to say that, like, Brett's argument was that, like, it wasn't a pivotal role, but I was
that shouldn't really
mistaken.
be
I thought
taken
it was,
into account.
It had to be his best film. Like, I thought we switched it from his role to his
Yeah,
film.
no, it's
Yeah,
just the
it was
best Brad
best
Pitt movie.
Yeah.
That whole argument was kind of irrelevant.
Oh, yeah. Whatever. Either way, but yeah. Sorry to
Well,
hear that.
yeah, I just meant, like, I didn't mean that you couldn't choose that one. I just meant that if the question is best Brad Pitt movie, then I think about, like, the best movie of Brad Pitt.
Okay.
Does that make any sense? Like, it's not necessarily, like, his best role. Like, that's not what I meant, but I felt like the movie that I think, oh, Brad Pitt, like, for instance, like, there's, like, Anne Hathaway was barely in, like, Les Mis. But you would think of that as an Anne Hathaway movie because she had such a big part in it, if that makes any sense. Like, she has such a memorable part in it. That's what I mean by that. I didn't mean, like, Brad Pitt could have shown up 3 minutes in the movie and everyone talked about Brad Pitt, then I could have seen it being the best Brad Pitt movie. Kind of like Matthew McConaughey in Wolf of Wall Street or something like that, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that.
All right.
I agree with
All
that
right,
too.
Edwin, your turn. So just you have to rebuttal against the other two and talk about why California is the best Brad Pitt movie.
Okay, well, the reason I say California is the best Brad Pitt movie, because if it weren't for this movie, he wouldn't got roles like Seven or Fight Club. I mean, I saw 12 Years a Slave, and he just has a very small role in that movie. And Tree of Life, I never seen Tree of Life, but I don't know anything about Tree of Life, but I know the director Terrence Malick. He's a good director, but I can't say for sure if Tree of Life is his best movie, because I've never seen it. But I just enjoy his character in this movie. It's just so intense and scary and psychological that Brad Pitt is doing all these crazy things just to show these people he's riding with a good time, to show them what's the mind of a serial killer is like. And basically himself, he's a serial killer. He's crazy. He's psycho, and that makes a good movie because he's showing all these crazy things that he's doing. And that's basically all I have to say about that movie.
All right, great argument. Okay, I think well, I'm just deciding on the winner right now, but Forrest, do you have anything to fact check?
Well, California made 2.3 million at the box office, so yeah, you're right about it not being well known. While Tree of Life and 12 Years a Slave are definitely very well known because obviously the Oscars and stuff. On Rotten Tomatoes, 12 Years a Slave is the highest rated at 96, and Tree of Life is at 84, probably because it's not for everyone, like you were saying. And California only has 24 reviews counted, but it's at 67%.
All right. Okay, so I think I have a winner here. But before this has nothing to do. This won't decide who the winner is or anything. But I just have to say I hate Tree of Life. I hate that movie so much. But don't worry, that doesn't factor into your argument or anything. Yeah, I'll talk about that more after the fight. But I think they kind of got you there, Danny. By you had a really good rebuttal against the other two, but you didn't really talk about your film as much. Also, while the question was best Brad Pitt film, they're right. You don't when you think of Brad Pitt films, you don't really think of 12 Years a Slave. So I think you didn't really focus on your film as much. So I think they kind of knocked you out there. So it was between Edwin and Brett. Edwin, you had a really good point there where you said, first of all, this kind of started Brad Pitt's career, and if it weren't for California, he wouldn't have had some of these larger roles. And you also said, his performance was really good, but I think you got a little too hung up on the performance. And if this was if the question was best Brad Pitt performance, you would have won. But I think I'm going to give it to Brett because Brett just talked about how Tree of Life was a major contribution to cinema, and while I hate it, I kind of understand where he's coming from. So I'm going to give the point to Brett.
Yay!
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not speaking for too long, am I?
Oh no,
No.
don't worry, you're good.
Cool. All right. I just want to make sure I don't want to go to other people's space, but okay, cool.
So right now it's 2 Brett, 1 Danny, and 0 Edwin. So Edwin, you need to get the next point so that you can go into a speed round against Danny.
Tiebreaker.
Alright.
Tiebreaker, yeah. Okay, so the next question and the final main question is best John Hughes movie. For this one, we're gonna start with Art Pig or Brett. Sorry.
All right. So, John Hughes. When you think of John Hughes, first off, you think about teenage movies. You think of coming-of-age movies. And I think by far the best one of those is Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Because, we all quote, life moves pretty fast. You don't stop and look around once in a while, you can miss it. But that entire movie is just so much fun. It's such a joy to watch. And I think, a lot of John Hughes movies are great. And they'll go into, maybe some of the deeper and darker sides of high school life. And I think Ferris Bueller does that, yet it never loses its sense of this bounciness and fun. Like, I feel like Breakfast Club kind of takes itself too seriously, and it kind of becomes smug after a while. And stuff like, 16 Candles might be fun off the bat, and then it kind of gets sad. But, like, with Ferris Bueller's Day Off, that is a movie that you could watch with friends, you could watch at a party and just have a good time, but also, like, learn something about high school and life experiences. It's not a film that ever drags or feels like it's pandering to any sort of specific audience. Yeah, it is a film that is able to teach its messages just through the fact of what Ferris does in his everyday life, and what and like how he doesn't want to take the day off because he's just a jerk and he doesn't like school. He wants to take the day off so he can have experience one last time with his girlfriend and his friend before their entire lives change once they graduate. And I think there's a lot there. Like, Ferris isn't just this delinquent kid that you don't like. He's actually a good person who's trying to make the most out of his high school experience. And I think he's actually a good role model in that sort of way to teach kids to experience and appreciate their lives and not just sit around all day but actually have fun. And I think Cameron represents, like, the true, like, inner, like, just us feeling negative and pessimistic about life, and then that Force coming in and saying, look at things your own way, in your own positive way. And I think all of this is really meaty, yet it's able to be said in a very fun and thoughtful way. So it's one of my favorite movies of all time. I absolutely love Ferris Bueller's Day Off. I think it's by far his best movie.
Great argument. All right, next is Edwin.
When it comes to John Hughes, like he said, teenage movies. My favorite John Hughes movies of all time is The Breakfast Club, because I've gone through some of that, like in that movie. But what that movie does for me is basically just coming together. You got these group of kids that they don't know each other, but they connect with each other, and that little wherever they are. But it's just one of those movies that you just have to watch to understand what they're going through and how it relates to our lives. I mean, it's a great movie. It's an 80s classic with good music in it, and I like I say his name, Emilio Estevez, Molly Ringwald, and Judd Nelson. Judd Nelson was great in that movie. I forgot Anthony Michael Hall. And what's that girl's name? With the pink girl? What's her name? What's her name? No. No, I'm missing one more person. What's her name? What's her name?
It's okay. Forrest can fact check that. Or we can just So don't worry. Don't. Yeah.
All right, good. Because I just forgot her name, but it's just one of those movies that I can just watch over and over and over again. How I can relate to their lives, about what they're doing, how they think, how they feel, and just there's some romance in that movie with the jock and the basket case. I mean, that I know a couple people that went through that. A jock is dating a basket case. I mean, what I learned from that movie is just you just gotta be yourselves and just live on like they did in that movie, and that's all I have to say about that.
All right. Okay, Danny, your turn for the last argument.
All right. So I've chosen what I believe to be John Hughes' best movie, John Hughes' funniest movie, and his most influential movie. I think that is Vacation. It had, I believe, when I think of John Hughes, this is a movie I think of. This completely takes his style, the type of movie he likes to make, the types of characters that he likes to use, and he puts them in such an entertaining and fun movie. One of the things that's really great about John Hughes films is like the quirkiness of the characters and the situations they get into. Comes perfectly into play here. And all the weird situations they get into on the road trip, and all the really awkward conversations they have, and like the amazing cameos from other characters, and like I'm not going to say what happens just in case any of you haven't seen it because it's great, but the outcome of the whole goal that they led to was just like such a weird turn, and it was like it works so well. And it's John Hughes did a lot of things for this genre and for his filmography that completely like set a trail for like how family road trip movies and movies that cover these types of characters and topics would be in his filmography and for all films from there on.
All right, great argument. So, starting off the rebuttal, Brett, your turn.
Alright, so first off, let me start with The Breakfast Club. I like The Breakfast Club. I've seen it quite a few times now because it is one of those movies that everyone in high school is like, oh, my favorite movie is The Breakfast Club. I related to it so much. And I like it, yet I never think it devolves that much into any of the characters. We're dealing with 5 or 6 main characters here, and I don't think we really truly get to know any of them as closely or personally. It's like we blurb of what they are, and we know a blurb of what they say. And I feel like a lot of what happens to them feels just a tad bit contrived. Not necessarily too much, but it feels kind of written at points. It feels like, okay, this is like an adult trying to kind of understand what high school life is like, and I think it is a good movie, but I do think that Ferris Bueller has more of a grasp on the way kids think, the way kids feel, and I think since that movie only focuses on 3 characters, and all 3 characters have very distinctive clubs and cliques of their own, that we get to know more about like them and their lives and their paths than we do in The Breakfast Club in an ironic type of way. And Vacation was a movie I think I watched last year. And I don't think it is the best even vacation movie. I think Christmas Vacation is a much better movie than the original Vacation because Christmas Vacation is charming, it's funny, it's hilarious. In the first Vacation, there's just not much to it. It's your typical road trip movie. Kids talk. There's some crude jokes. They go to the park. The end. There's not really all that much weight to it, unlike Ferris Bueller's Day Off, in my opinion, which I think has a lot more weight and a lot more heart. And I think Christmas Vacation has a lot more in terms of heart and in terms of awe feeling. I never really felt anything for the first Vacation. I watched it and I thought it was entertaining and I went on with my day, but I have no built sort of nostalgia or love for it because I don't really think it does anything to build that. I think it's just your typical stereotypical, quirky family going on a road trip type of movie. I think for that type of movie, it's done the best possible way it could be, but I don't think it's anything special. But I think Ferris Bueller has a lot of special qualities to it. I think it's very nostalgic in a sense of it's going back to a time or adults and even people living around that time can relate to the messages and their relationships and all the quirky antics they get into. Because not only are their quirky antics, I think, a lot more entertaining and a lot funnier than they are in Vacation, but I think, again, there is more heart and weight to Ferris Bueller, and I think there's more to actually take away from it at the end of the day, which I think makes it a better movie, a better written movie, and a more entertaining movie than the first Vacation is. And I think it is a better movie than The Breakfast Club because I think it is better written in The Breakfast Club. I think it feels more authentic and real, and it's able to be more funny. It's always quirky, and whenever it gets dramatic, it earns its dramatic beats, and I think The Breakfast Club just kind of pounds you on the head just a little too hard. I think Ferris Bueller is the best of them.
All right, great argument. I do have some things to say about your thoughts on Vacation, but I'll save that till after.
I like
Tristan
that.
gets it. Tristan
I'll get
gets
it. I
Yeah.
like that. So.
All right, Edwin, I think it's your turn.
Alright, I just gotta say one thing about Vacation. I don't see it as a John Hughes movie. I just see it as a Harold Ramis movie, like he did
True.
for Caddyshack. But
True.
I just don't see any of John Hughes' things in that movie. I just see it as something that Harold Ramis did in Caddyshack. I mean, it's not necessarily a John Hughes movie. He just wrote the screenplay for it. But I just see it as some kind of another movie that of Harold Ramis' Caddyshack because it also had Chevy Chase in it. I mean, I personally love Vacation, but I just don't see it as a John Hughes movie. I mean, and also Ferris Bueller. I enjoy Ferris Bueller. I think it's one of the great movies, but it's basically telling us how to ditch school. I mean, he narrates the whole entire thing. He hacks into the computer, changes his absence to like a 2, and in order for him to graduate high school. I mean, he's doing this just to not get in trouble. But like you said, it's a perfect way to enjoy life before a whole new generation begins. But it's just him ditching school and having a good time. I mean, it's not the best John Hughes movie ever made. I think The Breakfast Club, it is because it started the Brat Pack, and all the other characters that were in the movie started off in other teenager movies. Like Judd Nelson, he was in Making the Grade. Mila Estevez, he was in, I think it was, there was another one he was in. That was a teen movie, but I'll remember that later.
Almost Fire.
Let me see. Molly Ringwald.
Oh, yeah.
She was in Pretty in Pink. Oh wait, that's a John Hughes movie too. Shit. That's pretty much how to say. I think Breakfast Club is one of the better movies. It's a movie that I can relate to with some other people that I know that relate to that movie. I think Breakfast Club is a great '80s movie, one of his best movies he ever done, and that's all I'd say about that.
All right. Yeah, those were all. Oh crap! Sorry, Danny. I forgot about you. Yeah. Okay, your turn to rebuttal.
Okay, so when it comes to Ferris Bueller, I think Ferris Bueller was kind of a gimmicky movie, and I think that the main reason why a lot of people love it is the fourth wall breaking, because this is one of the first movies to do this. And by the way, you didn't. Did you bring up the fourth wall breaking?
Actually, didn't.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's a major part, and I think that's actually one of the best parts of the film, and I think that it wasn't brought up was bad, but I think it was kind of in that way. It was kind of gimmicky. It was like it just had the same John Hughes thing over and over again. But I think just the fourth wall breaking just brought it to another level, and I think it's really one of the only things that the movie has going for it. Also, Ferris Bueller is not a character that you're really supposed to root for. He's kind of like a little. I don't know. I hope I can say this word. He's kind of like a little shit. I was gonna say a little shit, but close enough. Yeah, and when it comes to the Breakfast Club, yeah, sure, it's iconic, but to be honest, I don't think it's the most relatable representation of high school. Only if you're I can't really relate to those characters. I haven't really done anything. I've done any of the things that those characters have done, and I haven't really done anything bad, so I can't understand it. I can't really get with these characters because I don't think there's only a very specific group of people in high school who can relate to it, and that's pretty bad considering I'm in high school myself. But, yeah.
All right.
Can I say something off of this point real quick about the fourth wall breaking?
I was about to say that too.
Sure.
Okay, I understand what you're saying about that, but it's not like he constantly breaks the fourth wall throughout the entire thing. He does it a few times. That's what makes it special and authentic, but I don't think that's really the true weight or meat of the movie. I don't think of Ferris Bueller and go, oh, he broke the fourth wall. I think of Ferris Bueller and go, oh, that was a great high school coming-of-age type of film that, that's, relatable and fun. So, you said I didn't bring up the fourth wall breaking because I don't think that's the main thing that Ferris Bueller's offering.
I do believe it is. I really think that it's
But he does it
when most people think back on why Ferris Bueller was iconic, I think that's one of the reasons. If you're just looking at a regular high school movie, you'd be looking at something I don't want to say Breakfast Club because that's what the other person's arguing.
The Duff.
Yeah.
No,
can I say something?
Something like The Edge of 17, which I saw today. It's
how is that? Actually,
it's very good. It's whereas this is actually the themes of the story that stick with you, opposed to what stuck with me, which was a gimmick throughout the film. And yeah.
All right.
Good.
Okay.
Also, can I say one more thing?
Yeah, sure.
Did you say Ferris Bueller is the first movie to do the fourth wall break?
You're not the fact checker.
Yeah, I don't think anyone did bring that up, but...
I thought I heard that because that's not the first movie to do the fourth wall break.
No, I didn't say it was the first. I said it was one of the first to be like to have an iconic use of it.
Yeah, it was the movie that made breaking the fourth wall iconic.
Like,
so
Really?
yeah,
I think
yeah,
that might have been
Sure.
Hall
I'll say
that did that.
Annie Hall and
Actually,
Family Club
Annie
was
Hall,
the first
yeah.
movie to do the fourth
Annie
wall
Hall
break.
was the first
yeah.
fourth wall
and
breaker.
Annie Hall's awesome, by the way. So
yeah, it's great.
Overrated.
No,
Go away,
no,
Brett.
no. Okay. So I'm gonna be honest here. There's not like I listened to all your arguments pretty carefully, and there wasn't really a standout. So this is gonna be super hard to pick because all of you just had like, I mean, they're not bad arguments, but usually like on every other question there was a standout, and I feel like your arguments were pretty much on par. So I'm just gonna ask Forrest, do you have anything to fact check while I decide?
Well, you were talking about the actress in The Breakfast Club, and you're either thinking of Molly Ringwald or Ali Sheedy.
Ali Sheedy, that's her name.
Yeah. And then the highest rated out of these three on Rotten Tomatoes is actually National Lampoon's Vacation at 93, Breakfast
Yeah.
Club at 89, and then Ferris Bueller the lowest at 81.
Boo. That's
Yeah.
stupid.
All right.
And personally, I think Danny won that, but I think Ferris Bueller is my favorite of the movies though.
Oh, really? Okay. I'll say
You can
this.
defend Vacation though.
Yeah. Okay. I think I have
Why
a
no?
winner
You
now.
don't have the right to bring your opinion.
What?
I'm sorry. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
I have. Don't worry, guys. I actually already have a winner. Okay. So, Brett, unfortunately, you didn't win this. I think they attacked Ferris Bueller pretty hard here, even though personally it's probably. No, actually, you know what? It's not my favorite out of the three, but I do love it, and I think it's a great film. And you did bring some strong points, but they knocked you down pretty hard, and you didn't really bring up how it was revolutionary. So, yeah, I feel like they knocked you out there. So it was close between Edwin and Danny, but I actually think, well, first of all, by the way, Vacation's amazing, and Brett, oh my gosh, it's so good. How do you not like Vacation that much?
I liked it. It was good.
Well, yeah,
the guy who
but,
made Caddyshack, man.
yeah. So
Caddyshack. They're both just like funny movies, but there's not much to them. Like,
I don't know.
Yes.
I think
Person-
Christmas Vacation's much better. We could have a fight about that. Christmas Vacation's a much better movie than the first Vacation.
Oh, yeah.
Personally, I think that not the new Vacation, sorry. National Lampoon's Vacation is like, I think it has a lot of heart and a lot to say about families, but I'll talk about that more after the fight. I think that I'm going to give the point to Edwin, actually, because I think that he brought up a good point by saying National Lampoon's Vacation, it's not as much of a John Hughes film. Also, he also, you didn't really talk about Vacation as much, and I think Edwin did a good job at talking about both, talking about both of your choices as well as his. So yeah, that brings it to a tiebreaker. So yeah, Danny and Edwin, you guys are going to be in the tiebreaker here.
Oh shit.
So Forrest, should I do one of those two questions that I had before, or should I do one that they're not prepared for? Because that might be a little more fun.
Do one they're not prepared for, because I have some other ones written down too.
Oh really? You want to use one of those, or?
No, you use one of yours. Do you have speedrun questions?
Are we doing this speed round style?
Yeah. Should we give them a little bit more time than a speed round, like
Give them
40 seconds or
5 seconds instead of 15.
or? Yeah, you know what? I'll give you each 30 seconds for this, so it's a little longer than a speed round.
And 5-second bonus for the person who gets the answer.
But all right.
Do you have questions? Because I have like 10 written down. If you don't have any.
Oh, you have 10.
Yeah.
Want to use one of those? Because I feel like my question might be harder to answer. So yeah.
Okay, sure.
Okay.
What is the best movie about the Second World War?
Oh, and quickly
Schindler's
answer.
List.
Yeah, answer as quickly as
Saving Private
possible.
Ryan.
Okay.
Oh, great choices.
So basically, how this
Wait,
round
is-
works is you each get to talk for 30 seconds. Danny goes first. Edwin, you go second. And because Danny answered first, he gets a 5-second rebuttal at the end.
Wait, hold on. Did you say First World War?
Second.
Oh, Saving Private Ryan's about
Yeah,
the First
Saving
World
Private
War.
Ryan isn't World War II. I was gonna say that.
Yeah.
I think it wasn't even part of World War One. It was like one of the alternate battles. It was like.
It was I think it was a war leading up to World War One, but I'm not sure.
Yeah.
So.
No,
yeah, can
Saving
you
Private
choose
Ryan's
another?
about World War II.
Alright.
What are you talking about?
It's World War One.
Yeah, it's about
No,
the
it's a World
storming
War
of the
II
beach
movie.
at Normandy. That's the pivotal
is?
battle in World War II.
It's a World War
What are you
II
talking
No way.
about?
Okay, sorry about that.
Boy,
Sorry.
what are you
Oh, God.
saying?
Okay.
Wait, but no,
Sorry.
but I was saying, does Normandy really?
Yeah, that's
I
like
guess-
the most
yeah, it does.
important.
Sorry,
It
I
was one
War
of. It was one of the battles. It wasn't like actually like.
No, it counts.
It
I've
counts.
actually never seen Saving Private Ryan. I was told it's a World War
Oh
One
my
movie,
God,
so
no.
sorry
that
about
was
that.
Man.
That's my fault. Okay.
I watched
so,
it in history class in my World War One unit.
Oh,
No.
really? Okay.
Yeah.
We'll count it. We'll count it for this. So we're having two Spielberg films against each other. So Danny, I think I heard you first. So do you want to start first? And you've got 30 seconds.
I'd love to.
Okay. Starting now.
Okay, Schindler's List is probably the most iconic movie when you think of World War II in opposition to Saving Private Ryan. It's the main aspect of World War II, which was a Holocaust. It covers it very powerfully. It emotionally affects many people. It's very emotional. It's very powerfully represents the war. And when you think of World War II, you do think Schindler's List, but Saving Private Ryan, you think of a war movie on its own, not necessarily a World War II film. I think that's one of the big problems, and also it's I think the Holocaust was also more that they think about when World War II in opposition to Normandy.
Okay. Good argument. Edwin, since you went about 5 seconds over, you can go a little bit over as well, and I'll tell you when to stop.
Okay. I liked Schindler's List. I thought it was the most emotional movies I've ever seen. But Saving Private Ryan is just one of those movies that shows a realism of how those people went through to the storm of Normandy Beach. It shows a realism. It's like that scene where a guy's looking for his hand. That was so impactful. When some people went to go see that movie, they just left the theater. I think it's one of these movies that you just have to watch, see how that war was. But there are some things about it that are kind of not true, but I wish it was. How they had to rescue a man because like all his brothers died. But it just touches you right here in the heart, seeing how these guys went through hell and high water to just save this one person. I mean, this is one of the best war movies I ever saw, right next to Platoon. But Saving Private Ryan is one of my favorite war movies by Steven Spielberg out of all of them. That's all I'll say about that.
All right. You each have 10 seconds to rebuttal.
No,
So
just
we'll
Danny.
start with.
Just Danny.
Oh, just Danny?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
All right. So yeah, Danny, you have 10 seconds to rebuttal.
All the parts that you're talking about in Saving Private Ryan are in the first 20 minutes. The whole battle was very brutal, but it was a very, very small part of the movie. The whole Schindler's List is very powerful, very violent, has the same effect, but throughout the whole 3 hours, 15-minute runtime.
All right. Okay. Yeah, I think I'm gonna give this one to Danny just because
Yeah.
I think he did
agree.
a better job of describing why Schindler's List is the better movie. Also, I think Edwin, you agreed with him. You used about half of your time to kind of talk about how good Schindler's List was. So, you had a good argument. I just think that Danny definitely won that one. But.
I know. I love Schindler's List. I cried like so times while watching that movie.
Yeah, it's
And
a hard one to argue.
Saving Private Ryan is my fifth favorite movie of all time. I completely forgot that it was a World War II movie. I feel embarrassed now.
It's okay. I had the same problem. All right, so
Schindler's List, it looks good. I liked Private Ryan a lot. It's a good movie, but I haven't seen Schindler's List yet.
All right.
It's great.
Yeah.
Okay. So we're gonna have 5 speed round questions, and since that was a tiebreaker, Danny, that doesn't count for a point, so it's still 2-1.
Okay.
Yeah. So there's 5 speed round questions here. So yeah. All right. So are you both ready to start?
Yes, I am.
All right. And by the way, for the speed round, how it works is the first person who answers gets to go first and also gets a 5-second rebuttal. You each have 20 seconds to argue your
15.
point. And yeah.
15.
Oh, 15?
Yeah.
15 seconds? Okay. So, and there's 5 speed round questions.
Fact
unless we have.
checked.
Pardon?
Oh, nothing.
Oh.
I just said get fact checked.
Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, if we hit a tiebreaker, I'll do another tiebreaker question. All right, are you both ready?
Right.
Yep.
Okay. What is the best biopic?
Saving Mr. Banks.
Ah, shit. Ah, fuck. Lenny.
What the crap is Lenny?
What's Lenny?
You never heard of Lenny?
Wait, hold on. Hold on.
That's a biopic.
Hold on, Edwin. First of all, I've never heard of Lenny. Second of
Ah,
all,
what the hell?
So you're eliminated. Actually.
yeah, this is just between. Sorry, I wasn't clear about this. Since you lost the tiebreaker, it's just between Brett and Danny. But you can help me decide the winner.
Alright.
You okay with that?
Wait, does it have to be a real life person, or could it be? No, of course it's a biopic.
Yeah,
What am I talking
yeah, it's a
about?
biopic.
What the
so-
hell am I talking about?
Lenny, man. It's like
I'm
best
desperate.
performance.
I
No,
looked
I'm-
up Doug Hoffman, 1960 comic Lenny Bruce, who's groundbreaking, holds barreled style and social. Yeah.
I'm going social.
I've never heard of it.
Ooh,
Oh,
Social
good.
Network. That's a good
Dang.
choice.
Come on, man.
Okay.
I'm disappointed.
All right. So, Social Network versus Saving Mr. Banks. Arpig, you can start whenever you're ready.
Okay. Social Mr. Banks. Mr. Banks. Really great.
You can start again.
Yeah.
Okay, Saving Mr. Banks is a really great, feel-good Disney movie that has a lot more heart and joy at the surface. It's a movie about filmmaking. It's a movie about the creation of Mary Poppins. Yeah, it's also a great representation of both P.L. Travers and Walt Disney and their relationship to each other. And
All
it's
right.
a movie.
Oh, time's up.
Quick fact check there. I believe it's
All right.
called Saving Mr. Banks, not Social Mr. Banks.
All right. Okay, Danny, you can start whenever you're ready.
Okay. Social Network is not only one of the best biopics, but one of the best character studies. It's a fantastic. It looks so deep into this guy's mind, and it makes you think, and it makes you like so compelled by this character. Whereas Saving Mr. Banks is straight trash, so much to a point where I haven't even seen it. And
All right, Brett, you have 5 seconds to rebuttal.
Okay, Danny completely trashed the movie he hasn't seen.
All right, yes, I think that, personally, I think that Social Network's the better choice, but sorry, Danny, you kind of, yeah,
I don't know
you knocked
why I
yourself
did
out
that.
there.
I have no
Yeah.
idea why I did
Yeah.
Social
Yeah.
movie, the Saving Mr. Banks. I agree. It's one of my favorite movies of all time.
Same.
Yeah.
Social Network's
that.
definitely the better
I'm
movie.
sure Saving Mr. Banks is straight trash.
No, it's really good. It's great, actually.
Oh, okay.
Like Oscar worthy in my opinion. But yeah.
3-1.
All right. Do you have anything to fact check there, or?
No, just the title of Saving Mr. Banks.
All right. Yeah. Okay. So right now it's 3-1. Our pig, you're winning.
Woo.
So, all right. For the next question, this is also kind of a broad one, but I thought this one's really relevant since La La Land is coming up soon. What is the best musical ever?
Musical like
God.
wait, musical like singing musical or
Yes.
like music-based film?
Musical.
Singing. Yeah, so not you can't pick
Whiplash doesn't count.
Yeah, or
That's what I was
Walk
gonna
the
say.
Line or any. Yeah.
Mary Poppins.
Okay.
South Park, Bigger, Longer, Uncut.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Yes.
That was.
Alright,
Do you guys remember the very first film duel ever? Was speed round question was Simpsons movie versus South Park Bigger, Longer, and Uncut. Do you guys remember that?
Oh
I
yeah, I
remember.
remember that. Yeah.
And
South
Danny
Park
hadn't
is straight
seen either.
trash, so I can't wait to argue.
No.
Okay. All right. So, I think Arpig, you picked first, right? So you can start whenever you're ready. You have 15 seconds.
Okay, Mary Poppins is an iconic. It is one of the first musicals. Well, it's not like one of the first musicals. It's one of the really big musicals. It was Disney's magnus opus. It is one of these revolutionary
Magnus
musicals.
opus.
South Park isn't even really musical. It's just a movie that decided that would have music in it, and it kind of sucked. But Mary Poppins is like the most iconic and brilliant movies of all time, compared to a movie that just sort of kind of exists. This is a no-brainer. It's Mary Poppins.
All right.
I have a quick fact check. I think
Yeah.
it's magnum opus, not magnus opus.
Did I just say that?
Yeah.
That's all I have to say.
That's embarrassing.
All right. Danny, you can start whenever you're ready.
Musicals are a very inaccessible genre. South Park takes that and capitalizes on it, making this great, raunchy, funny musical numbers. Musical and a film. The musical numbers are so clever and, in fact, very catchy. While Mary Poppins isn't accessible to many, and I feel that South Park is just very clever, very smart, and it capitalizes. It's almost a
time's
satire
up.
to musicals.
And don't
Alright.
forget, South Park was nominated for an Academy Award too.
It was?
That's what I was gonna
It
say.
was.
Next,
No
actually.
way.
It was one of
Yeah,
those
and
songs.
Best Original
Play in Canada.
Song. Yeah.
Play in
okay.
Canada.
I thought
Mary
you were-
Poppins was nominated for 8 Academy Awards, including Best Picture.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah.
Okay. And I think did Julie Andrews win that year, or she was definitely
They didn't
nominated.
win anything.
Yeah.
And
Okay. Yeah, those were. I can't believe this, but I'm actually picking.
Brett gets his
Wait, I
rebuttal.
gotta get my
Brett gets
5-second
his
rebuttal.
rebuttal.
Oh, sorry, crap. Okay.
No, but you kind of got it when you said that Mary Poppins was nominated for 8 nominated.
No,
awards,
whatever.
including
Just
Best
give
Picture.
him. He can have 5
Whatever.
seconds.
Okay,
Alright, go
fine.
ahead.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah.
wait, did it start?
Yeah, it starts now.
Sorry.
Whenever you start.
Okay, so Mary Poppins is like amazing. No, he erased it.
Yeah.
All right.
I had an entire point about Mary Poppins I wanted to make in that 5 seconds. I just forgot it.
All right. Forrest, do you have anything to fact check there?
Okay, no, I got
No.
it. Wait,
Wait, no, you.
wait. Can I say it now? Like if he wins?
Sure, but
No.
it doesn't count. Yeah,
Yeah, I got it.
you can say it.
South Park isn't accessible at all. It was almost NC-17. Barely anyone could have gone seen it that would have actually enjoyed the humor because it's so dumb.
That's not the definition of accessible.
Yeah, that's not really.
No, I'm
Personally,
saying
I
that
agree,
People
but that's
can't
not.
see it. And
Like-
also, if you're saying that it's accessible, like there's also going to be an adult crowd that doesn't like that type of humor too.
But I think there are, Danny makes a point where there are a lot of people who like especially to like in modern society, like people like raunchy comedies more than musicals. Like even look at the box office. Like R-rated comedies get a lot of money and musicals not as much.
To be honest, I actually would have said La La Land if I was allowed to, but it's not. I'm not
Yeah.
one here who's seen it, so.
Yeah, but I'm gonna give this point to Danny, even though I think both of you had strong arguments there.
Okay.
All right, so it's 2-3 now, and there's 3 more speed round questions unless we have a tiebreaker. So, hold on, I'm just gonna get my next question ready. Okay.
It's impossible for there to be a tiebreaker right now, by the way.
Oh, really?
Yeah. If there are 2 questions left.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Wait, did you
Wait,
say there were 3?
3 questions.
Oh,
left, not
3,
two.
then never mind.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. I was like, actually, you know what? This is a weird one, so I might save it for the. Actually, no. If there's no tiebreaker, then I'm just gonna say it now. All right, ready, guys? This is a weird one, so just
Not
brace
really.
yourself.
I'm not really ready. No. Do it.
Oh,
I'll
what?
never.
Okay. This is one that doesn't really make any sense, but I think that is gonna be a fun one to rebuttal. And so, what film would benefit from a saxophone solo in the third act? Like right
Oh,
What?
The B movie.
Her.
Her?
I can't
Okay.
even imagine what
No,
a
no, 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 no.
saxophone. I can't even imagine what a saxophone solo sounds like.
Well, you've got like one of the actors picks up a
Do-do-do-do-do.
saxophone and plays in the rain.
Oh, really?
Are you talking about Bird?
The Room.
Wait,
The Room. All right.
No, March of the Penguins.
Oh, okay. All right.
Wait, one of the penguins is picking up a mic, a saxophone.
All right.
Okay. The B movie.
The B movie. Okay. And
Yes.
wait, what did you say again, Dan?
Like 3 times. I'm gonna stick with the B movie.
Wait, you said the B movie? Crap.
Did you pick one yet, Danny?
Wait, I had the Room, but
Wait, you're switching. If you switch the room, then you don't get to go first. But if you and you don't get a 5-second rebuttal. But if you do keep the room, then you do. So.
Yeah, because I
Okay.
changed mine like 3 times. That's
Yeah.
my-
So do you want to keep the room or do you want to switch it? Like, what would benefit your argument more?
Rooms already are just I don't know. I'm going to switch. Wait, no, I want to say something, but none of you guys have seen it probably.
I might
What
have.
is it?
Has anybody seen Wiener Dog? The
No.
Todd Solondz
Yes, it's
movie?
horrible. It's horrible.
Yeah, okay, then Tristan will like my argument. Okay, I'm choosing Wiener Dog.
All right. Okay. Brett, since you switched before Danny switched, then you get to go first. So whenever
I'm
you're ready.
Fine. I'm fine with that.
Okay.
Alright, so at this point, the B movie has become an internet meme, and everyone loves it. It's amazing. And the B movie is an absolute joke of a movie that has, like, barely any sort of substance to it. It's just stupid. It's nonsensical. It makes no sense. So it would just be absolutely awesome if, in the bestiality moment of the woman and the bee falling in love, he just brought out a saxophone and started, like, serenading her to a tune. Like, that would be the most gift moment. That'd be the most mean moment ever. Everyone would love it. It would be iconic. Everyone would talk about how it's randomly out of nowhere a bee got a saxophone. It would be the best moment in film history.
And we're talking he's playing a full-size saxophone, right? A human saxophone,
Yeah,
not a bee
like
saxophone.
he's like just takes a saxophone and plays like the
He's
full-out
playing-
Baker's.
He's playing Careless Whisper from George Michael on it.
Yes.
Do-
Entirety of the song. And it doesn't cut.
I love that you said that that's by George Michael and not Wham, because everyone says
Yeah.
it's by Wham, but it's a George Michael song and it triggers me. But that made me happy
Yeah.
that you said that. I would have fact-checked you so hard if you'd said that was by Wham.
I'm a big George Michael fan, so yeah.
Yeah.
I am too.
Extra brownie points for that. Okay, so
Hey.
Daniel or Danny, sorry, your turn.
All right, Wiener Dog is, Brett liked this term, straight trash. It's one of the worst movies I've ever seen, and there's nothing to it. This movie has such a lack of anything compelling that even just that fantasy guy who says he's an artist, but really all he does is drive over dogs. If he picks up a saxophone, then he could truly be an artist, and he can finally be something that's compelling in a movie that is not compelling at all, and one of the worst and most boring, dumbest movies I've ever seen in my life. Period.
And what song would he play on the saxophone?
He would be wait.
Born to Run
I
Solo.
need to think about this.
And on the alto,
Do you
or
know
no,
this?
joking.
You know the song "On the Floor" by Ice JJ Fish? I don't know. That's my answer.
Would
It
he-
makes my answer-
would he
it
play
makes
it
my answer more
perfectly out of
compelling. I don't
tune?
know.
Okay. All right. That was like the best round ever.
Brett needs his rebuttal
So-
still. Brett
Oh
needs
yeah,
his
sorry,
rebuttal still.
Brett. 5-second rebuttal.
All right. What was that beep?
It sounded
Yeah.
like someone playing Careless Whisper.
on the clarinet.
It sounded more like an oboe. What is happening?
Movie, a meme, and it's popular, and Wiener Dog, no one cares about, nobody knows about it. It would not make an impact. Like, no one would even talk about that saxophone, while B-movie, everyone would be talking about that saxophone.
All right.
I think Brett won that.
Yeah.
Are you telling me you don't like my boy Fantasy? He's the
First-
best part of that movie. No, seriously, like, just go to the last 5 minutes of that movie. It's just this guy who quotes to be an artist, but really all he does is he drives over animals and then he, like, displays them in an art exhibit.
I need this.
I'm
It
actually on.
should be a meme, and I'm pissed it's not a meme. It would be a way better meme than the P movie.
Yeah. Here's
Nothing's
the thing.
a better
I
meme
think,
than the B movie.
Yeah, Brett definitely won that, even
Yeah.
though, Danny, that was an awesome argument, especially with the addition of the Ice JJ Fish song. But I think, and I do think that
I'm going to
the B
include a
movies-
clip of that song in the final edit. I will. That'll be our outro song.
that would be great. Find a saxophone edition of that song. Put it in the credits.
that right now.
I'll get one of my friend is really good at the saxophone. I'll get him to record a version of it and play it so we can
Yes.
use it.
That would be great. So
Oh, I just legit found a version called Ice JJ Fish on the Floor jazz version with saxophone on YouTube.
all right.
Oh, and there's a clarinet one too. It already exists.
All right, so I think that that was a great round. Yeah, Brett definitely won, but I will say I think the B movie's a better film than Wiener Dog.
Of course it is.
Wiener Dog is one of. Sorry. Wiener Dog's one of the worst movies I've ever seen. Sorry, I wouldn't go that far. One of the worst films of the year, and I can't believe anyone would actually like it. Just when you talked about it, I need to lower it down because I have 1.5 stars on Letterboxd, and it doesn't even deserve that. So
I saw it at a camp I went to, so there was like 25 kids there, and like in that intermission where they have the dog against that green screen of like the Grand Canyon and like that
Yeah.
field,
that was crazy.
all went to the front, and we like bent over. It's like no, it's like. It's disastrous. I was shocked.
Yeah, it was horrible.
I couldn't it. I had to look up last few minutes.
Did nobody
I
do
watched
that?
the entire thing. It was horrible.
I watched it right until he drives over the dog.
The only redeeming part of that movie is that Julie Depley from the Before trilogy's in that, and
Are you telling me that Fantasy isn't the best character in cinema?
oh yeah, Fantasy's pretty great.
I just love the way he talks.
Yeah.
On-
You would have. Yeah.
It's a 76% on Rotten Tomatoes.
How?
But what's the audience?
Yeah.
41.
It has a 5.9 on IMDb too.
I think you both had good arguments there, but right now if Brett wins this next one, then
It's over.
then he wins the entire game. But if
Hey.
Danny wins these next two, then we go to a tiebreaker.
Hey,
So keeping with the theme of like really weird
is it
really
what's
weird
coming
questions.
now?
I've got another one here that I was just looking through my questions and I'm like, you know what, we already went this far, so let's just try this. What film would benefit from replacing the male lead with Nicolas Cage?
Oh God.
Her.
And when I say Nicolas Cage, I mean like over the top Nicolas Cage,
Vampire's Kiss.
like Vampire's Kiss.
The Wicker Man. I
When he
didn't
was doing the
misfile
Hallelujah thing
anything.
and Face
Not
Off, I mean,
once,
like,
not one
full out
time.
crazy.
Can I choose the original Wicker Man?
No, because he did the remake, so.
Yeah, I know.
No, that
Yeah.
makes no sense.
Wait, who said her? Was that
Brett.
Yeah, that was me.
Brett? Oh, okay. So Danny, do you
I
have one?
choose the Ice
Unless-
JJ Fish on the Floor music video.
Can I say a movie
Starring
that
Nicolas
hasn't been
Cage.
released?
What movie? It depends.
Because I've seen it. Lion.
Lion?
Yeah.
With, it has been released. It released yesterday. Or today.
Actually, you know what? I'm not gonna say that. That's stupid. I'm gonna
Lion
go.
looks boring.
Lion looks amazing, but okay,
No, it's great. I saw it. It's
yeah.
You know what I'm actually gonna go with? I'm gonna go with Popstar. Never stopping.
Oh my
Yes!
God.
Okay.
Actually, a
What about
decent
Finding
movie.
Nemo?
Yeah, you have a CGI, the fish, and then you have, like, Nicolas Cage's
No,
face on
no, the B movie. The B movie. I changed my mind. The B movie.
Okay. Alright.
Taken.
Okay,
Take
wait,
it.
no.
No, where's her?
We already said the B movie in the last one, so just stick with Popstar.
No, let him keep the B movie.
Because, wait, are you sure? Because, like, I think it would be more interesting if we had two live action.
Okay,
No,
fine.
but the B movie is the
Fine.
B movie has a really major stain on cinema. I think it's important to like.
I will say though, I think you have a better chance of winning if you go with Popstar, but
Okay, Popstar.
yeah, because
Popstar.
that's more that's live action, and you'll have a better argument there. So also since Brett gets to go first. So 15 seconds whenever you're ready.
Okay, so Her is one of my favorite movies of all time. But if you just completely change all of that and made it a crazy Nicolas Cage movie, like, it would be pretty good too. It would just be a really entertaining time that everyone would be like, dude, remember that time when Nicolas Cage fell in love with his iPod? That was fun. And it would just be like another really great meme thing, and everyone would absolutely love it. So I think it would just be crazy insanity, but it might still have some heart to it. Like, maybe Nicolas Cage gets an Oscar. Maybe
Wow.
Wow, that's compelling. All right.
You know, it's sad that he won an Oscar.
He did? Oh,
He
leaving
did.
Las Vegas. Leaving, yeah. I need to see that.
Don't watch him, man. It's just him being himself. They just say, "Hey, let's give him an Oscar."
I heard he has a lot of depth in that movie though, so I should.
He does. He does. It's just him playing himself.
Yeah. All right. So Danny, whenever you're ready, you get 15 seconds.
Okay. Popstar is one of the best movies of all time. It's just so great. And imagine Nicolas Cage doing his weird thing and like going into this movie. Like imagine him singing offensive songs about Osama bin Laden and stuff. It would be funny. It would make a bunch of memes, and it will be really hilarious with Nicolas Cage being his old self.
Okay.
Did anybody realize that I tried to replicate Brett's argument?
No.
No, but you kind of.
This is the greatest episode of all time.
This is.
I was writing his argument down, and I did want to come back to this thing.
Dude, Tristan,
This is-
Tristan,
this is
scrap
like drug
scrap
movie
whatever
fight, but we're
question
not
you
even-
have, Tristan. Scrap whatever question you have next. Just make it best movie meme, honestly. Like, we just
Okay.
have to cap it off.
rebuttal.
Yeah. So. Yeah, Brett, you have 5-second rebuttal.
Danny does this maybe or
Okay.
I definitely think Brett won that
I
one
hate
because
him.
Danny completely
I
admitted
deserve
to
to win.
copying Brett's argument.
Okay, first of all, I forgot to do this, but I should have, for the other questions, I should have asked for Forrest and Edwin's input. So, what do you guys think? Edwin, first you, who do you think won this match?
Well, let me see here. I want to give it to the Popstar one.
Yeah. Okay.
I just want to see a screaming fucking Nicolas Cage just going like, I'm a vampire. I just want to see that. I just want to die laughing to see a stupid Nicolas Cage just singing, man.
It's already one of my favorite comedies of all time. It's like
I'll let
It
him
could be
fine
better
with
with
it.
Nicolas Cage.
exactly.
Okay. And Forrest, Who do you think won that?
I would have gone with Brett because Danny even admitted to copying Brett's
Yeah.
argument, so I definitely,
No,
I
it was
100% think
compelling.
Brett
What?
won
No,
that for
it
sure.
wasn't supposed to sound bad. I was trying to sound
Um,
good. I took Brett's argument and I improved on it.
I think I have a winner here. I'm gonna agree with Edwin. I think first of all, I think it was bad. I don't agree with you telling us that you ripped off his argument, but then then I realized that Brett's argument for her really didn't make any sense, and it made more sense with Pop's.
That's what I was doing. I was capitalizing on that.
So you know what? That's pretty smart. I'm gonna give it to you. That means that you're. I think it's what 3-4.
Yeah,
Yeah.
4 to 3 for
3-4.
Brett.
So this next win, if Danny gets this, then it's a tiebreaker, and if Brett gets this, then we are.
Done.
We're going to. Oh, he wins. Yeah. Okay. So we're gonna do best movie meme for this. next
Oh, are
week.
we actually?
Oh my god.
Oh, he got me.
No, can we change it to what movie would be better as a meme? Because the only options we have are B-movie and Cars 2.
Yeah, that's true. Okay.
That's true.
Well, all right.
What
Ready?
movie?
What? Huh?
Cars 2 is a meme.
Cars
Kinda.
2 is like a bigger meme than B-movie.
No, it's not. No,
No,
it's
it's
not.
not.
No, it's
Have you
not.
read Reddit?
No.
Exactly.
No, I don't go on Reddit.
Okay,
The
here,
room,
go.
I
Tristan,
think
ask
the
them.
room, like.
I need to go to
"Please stop
bed."
tearing me apart. That part, that's a meme.
But
All
what
right,
movie
so-
should be a meme?
Yeah.
Yeah. What movie
Fantasy
should-
from Wiener Dog.
All right, our pick your turn.
Saving Private Ryan.
Oh no!
Man.
Oh my god.
That's so bad,
Just thought that.
dude.
Dude, that's messed up.
That's terrible. That's
Excellent.
messed
All
up.
right,
That's
it's a
better than meme.
I'm not talking about those, like the scenes that are like, you know? No,
That's
oh my
so
God.
messed up.
I don't know if I can upload this to
Okay, no,
YouTube.
you know the scenes like before the war where they're like all like.
Wait, okay, guys. Give him. Let him answer his.
No,
So-
yeah, not actually going with Saving Private Ryan.
Okay,
Yeah, I know
good.
you're.
Okay. No,
All right, so
I'm saying like the stories. Like, have you guys seen Saving Private Ryan?
I have it.
Yes.
You know the stories that the soldiers tell? They're just like really weird and quirky. You know those?
Yeah.
I always thought that they sound like memes. Like whenever I watched them for the first time, like that should become a meme. That story should become a meme too. So what I
What
meant,
is
I didn't
going
mean, like,
on?
the war should be a meme. That'd be terrible.
Yeah. Okay, so our pick. What do you pick for yours? Right.
My meme?
Yeah, what movie would make the best?
That is already a meme.
No, what would make the
Yeah,
best
so
meme?
you can't pick like B-movie or something like
So
that.
I can't.
Cars 2.
Shrek the musical.
Oh yeah, you can pick that.
Okay. So,
Oh no.
Danny, since you picked first, you can start with Wiener Dog.
Okay, I really think that Fantasy's character in Wiener Dog really embodies the internet meme community really well. He's like this snobby, over-pretentious guy who just does these really morbid things and expects people to respect him for doing it. He runs over dogs, he displays them in art museums. This is very similar to like Twitter walls where they post like really disgusting things on the walls and they expect people to like them and find them funny. And I think just it's like it would be a very meta joke to have in the meme community because like he's kind of like even like a living meme. I think he just very well embodies the definition of a meme very artistically, very well.
The definition of meme is an element of culture or system of behavior that may be considered to be passed from one individual to another by non-genetic means, especially imitation. Or the other definition is a humorous image, video, picture, piece of text that is copied, often with slight variations, and spread rapidly by internet users.
All right.
The second one's more sense.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
definitely makes more sense.
So, Art Pig, you can start whenever you're ready.
Alright, so Shrek itself is already a meme, right? And a lot of people don't know about Shrek the Musical. You guys don't know. I've been in Shrek the Musical for like the past 3 months, and it was fun. But the thing is that I know that show so well, and there are so many weird and quirky and bizarre things that aren't actually in the typical Shrek. There's a man dressed in a giant donkey costume who's black and gay and says things as a donkey, like it's amazing. And like there's like floating like gingerbread men and stuff. It's like insane. It's insanity. There's so many great weird little lines that aren't in the typical Shrek. So it can expand the Shrek memes and have even more Shrek memes, but they're like costume Shrek memes, and they're like actually like real.
You're over time, but good argument. Danny, since he went over time, you can get 10-second rebuttal.
Oh.
Okay, you say the one character is black and gay. I think that's very edgy and very offensive. However, I'd like to share that. Do you know who else is black? Fantasy.
What is happening?
He embodies memes so well. Shrek is an overdone meme. Fantasy is what the internet needs. The internet needs some originality. I'm going with fantasy.
Oh no. I think by the laughter we know who won
I need
that.
a minute. I'm dying.
Oh god! Oh my god!
There's too much of us laughing. I'm gonna have to cut like 10 minutes of laughter out.
I like fall on the floor. I'm dying right now. Oh my god, Edwin, you're making me laugh so much.
Okay, calm.
Alright.
Edwin, you might want to mute. You might want to mute yourself.
This is the best film duel ever. What's
You're
even
welcome.
happening right
It's also
Alright,
50 minutes overtime.
Oh god.
It's
Okay,
true quality, just like fantasy.
Yeah. We'll make this a special movie fight. So.
Yeah.
Well, sorry, film duel. So we'll put a notification.
I'll say it's like meme film duels.
Yeah.
Meme duels.
Say drunk film duels, except we're not actually drunk.
No, just do timestamp where your like nonsense starts at 1 hour 37 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, but people are only gonna watch that point. But okay.
Yeah, but that's no. People are gonna click to that point.
Yeah.
True. Yeah. Okay. So. Before I say who won, I'm just gonna ask Forrest, who do you think won here?
Danny.
Yeah. And Edwin, who do you think won?
I picked the Shrek musical.
Oh really?
Yeah, really? But you were like, laughing.
But you were laughing the hardest.
Yeah, you were laughing for like 10 minutes, and you picked Shrek. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I actually said it like looking at the time. I said it like 6 minutes ago.
Oh, okay.
You guys were laughing for like 4 minutes straight.
I'm gonna pick Danny on that one.
Yeah.
Danny, that was amazing. Best argument of all time.
Thank you.
Okay. Agree.
Was that too edgy?
A little bit.
That was. Yeah, it was. You know, it's fine. Whatever. Okay.
Oh gosh.
So, this brings us to a tiebreaker, and I feel like I need another really weird question.
Best
and I kind
film
of have
released
one,
in the
but I feel like
1920s.
What was?
What is the best film released in the 1920s?
But that's that's not fun.
I know.
So I'm just gonna take a minute to try to think of another one. Edwin, do you have another really weird movie question?
Let me see.
Can we reuse answers? Because I think I'm just gonna use the same answer for the next
No,
question.
we
I was
can't.
gonna say.
But I reused fantasy from Wiener Dog twice, and like
Yeah,
you didn't say
but-
anything.
Why not?
This
Why not
is-
the B movie versus? Oh no, what about Room versus The Room?
No, because that's.
Or the
no,
B movie versus Inside Out?
I've got one. Okay.
I was gonna say one.
Oh, sorry. You can go first.
I was gonna say, what is the best Cannon Group movie?
What's Canyon?
You never heard of the Cannon Group? What the hell, man?
Wiener Dog.
No. I prefer the Cannon. They made one of the best, cheesiest.
No,
80s
I have an argument. Canon Group used I don't know who they are, but I knew they have a really severe impact on the creation of Wiener Dog, and I know they have a large impact on the creation of the character Fantasy, who is a really great embodiment of our culture.
You're
Guys,
crazy, man.
Yeah, everyone. We actually have to do a question because it's almost 1 o'clock again.
No, it's
so.
okay. We've been doing this for over 2 hours.
The actual recording's only an hour and
Pick one
45 minutes
actor.
long.
Pick a movie and add any actor in it to have a shirt off dance scene.
Am I allowed?
I'm sorry, I just had to.
B
Am
movie.
I allowed?
No, it has to be live action.
I am really hoping the name of the guy from Wiener Dog comes to me.
Oh my God, no! Pick someone else.
No, it's clever.
Pick. Do you have
I am going with Michael James Shaw.
from
I'm
what?
From Wiener Dog.
Wiener Dog.
Oh my God.
Oh, you don't want to know
Wait,
what
in what
movie he's
movie?
going in? You
What?
want to know what movie he's going in?
Sure.
Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. I'll explain.
Okay. Brett, do you have one? You can pick any actor. And I know you're probably gonna pick Ryan Gosling, but.
Oh.
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 You should pick Danny DeVito.
Danny DeVito.
I was just thinking. I was going to do Danny DeVito and Perks of Being a Wallflower.
Yes, do it.
Yes.
Okay. Alright, so we have Danny DeVito in Perks of Being a Wallflower versus whatever that
Michael James Shaw.
Yeah, the one and only fantasy in a fantasy movie. Fantastic Beasts. Okay, so Danny, you can go first. And since it's the tiebreaker, you each have 30 seconds to argue.
Okay. Without spoiling the context of the film Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, there's a certain scene in which Eddie Redmayne's character has to perform a dance to have a creature go away. His dance is horrible. He twitches. He has no artistic value through his dance, and it is just nonsensical movements. You see, Fantasy is an artist. Yeah, he understands art. I feel like if he took off his shirt, he showed his artistic body, and he showed his sensical dance movements. I feel like he would have a way more effective way of getting rid of this creature. I feel like because Eddie Redmayne barely did the job. In fact, he was just the only reason why that creature got scared away is because they had to do it for the movie's sake and for the context of the film, because they had to have that creature to leave before the next scene came. So I think it would have been way more effective if they got Fantasy's character to do it, because then it would have made much more sense as to why it would have worked.
All right. Great argument. Brett, your turn. Whenever you're ready.
Alright, there's a scene in Perks of Being a Wallflower where our protagonist, Charlie, is sitting alone at the homecoming dance, and he tries to find friends to dance with. Instead of Emma Stone, and instead of the boring flat characters that are Emma Stone's character.
Emma Watson.
Did I say Emma
Fact-checked.
Stone? Crap,
Yeah.
Emma Watson's character. What if we had a shirtless Danny DeVito willing to take in Charlie so they could both end up bonding and having their lives together? Because those two characters and that entire movie was so boring and flat, and it took itself way too seriously. So if Danny DeVito was actually in it as the mentor, it could actually have some fun, some life, some juice, some variety into it. It would be the Way Way Back with Sam Rockwell and Duncan and stuff, and them interacting. It could be like that, but it's Charlie and it's Danny DeVito,
Shirtless
and
and
it's
dancing.
them having fun and experiencing life. And he's shirtless the entire time. It's the greatest film ever made. 10 out of 10.
Alright.
A plus. Better than Wiener Dog.
Okay.
Kevin,
Okay. Perks is way better than Wiener Dog, but okay.
It is, but this is why I don't want to prove the movie.
True.
No,
Alright.
but we're not talking about Wiener Dog. We're talking about
Yeah, I know.
Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. And I think
something?
I think Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them is a much weaker film than Perks of Being a Wallflower. I believe
is.
it could be.
Correct.
Perks is my fourth favorite.
Are you
movie
gonna
of
let
all
Danny
time.
do his
Yeah,
rebuttal?
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
I believe.
Danny, you get a 10-second rebuttal since it was a 30-second. Yeah, so.
Okay, nice. So, The Perks of Being a Wallflower would have no improvement, as Danny DeVito's figure is very similar to the person who plays the mentor. And see, because Emma Watson, you see, she's very short. And she's funny looking, like a Danny DeVito. And,
What? No. It's not funny.
And no, but in a positive way. But fantasy would just improve Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, because in the first place it's a weak film, and you see, as discussed earlier in this fight, fantasy is a very strong addition to any movie, including Wiener Dog. He is what led to me giving it a 0.5 star instead of 0 stars.
All right. Okay, so this
Both
is our
actors
tiebreaker
actually
round,
are
so
in Wiener Dog.
the winner of this wins the entire round, and I think we're gonna do. I don't know. I have to talk more to Forrest about this, but I think we're gonna do each of the winners face off in
Yeah, we'll have
ultimate
a
movie
tournament
fight.
thing in a while. Yeah.
Can I do a rebuttal?
No.
But yeah, should we give him a rebuttal, Forrest?
No. Let's end it.
No? Okay.
I have to go to
Okay.
bed.
Who do you
Wait,
pick for?
but didn't I go first, so I get a rebuttal? Or
No,
is
Danny
that
went-
not on the
Danny
tiebreaker?
went first.
No, I went first, and that's why I got
Danny
the
went
rebuttal.
first.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
Oh, it's okay. Yeah, don't worry.
Who won?
So, Forrest, who do you think won? I'll go to you guys.
For that one, I have no idea. I can't judge that at all. I can't. I have no idea.
Edwin, who do you think won?
It's a tough one. I do enjoy Dan DeVito shirtless.
You enjoy it. Can I ask what enjoying it involves?
Whatever. I've never seen Weird Dog, but I think it is a piece of shit. But
We're not talking about Wiener Dog. We're talking
I'm
about
gonna
Fantastic
go with
Beasts.
I'm gonna go with a shirtless Dan DeVito.
Heck yeah!
Alright.
People keep saying I'm talking about Wiener Dog. I'm talking about Fantastic Beasts.
Here's the thing.
Weird Dog.
Michael James Shaw has got some
I
fantastic
think
beasts.
that Danny had a point there where he said that Fantastic Beasts is a much weaker film. But first of all, I don't think there's really a scene where Eddie Redmayne dances. He's just skating. He's not dancing. And
Yeah, no, it's not necessarily a dance, but he has to do some weird physical movement. But I'd like
but
to call it
I-
a dance because there
I
would be
said
no other
dance.
purpose.
And also, I think that Danny DeVito dancing in Perks of Being a Wallflower with Charlie would be hilarious, and it would just add so much to that scene. So I'm going to give the point to Brett,
Yay.
which means Brett won the round.
Yay.
Hooray!
Yay.
So, Brett, you'll be going on to face Film Buff. Oh, that's going to be interesting.
Well,
That's gonna be fun.
it's not a tournament form. It's not a
oh.
tournament format like that. We'll talk more about it later.
Yeah, not a tournament format, but yeah, you'll face him at some point. We'll make sure of that. And maybe Gravity Knot if we can get him on. But
Yes.
all right, thank you guys so much for watching. Let us know what you thought in the YouTube comments.
Yeah.
And bye, guys.
Before-
Oh, wait, do you guys have anything to plug?
Before we end, I have to add something.
Oh no.
I'd like to play a song to
No, please.
to close this on. It's a theme song from the film Wiener Dog. It's a very. I hope you guys can hear it.
All
Can you
right.
hear it?
Thank you to everyone who participated today. Make sure to follow everyone on Instagram at Danny the Movie Man, at the crazy _movie lover 1985. at Movie
I
Reviews
can't even know what he
100.
said.
Uh,
Okay, wait.
thank you. Bye, everyone.